And we are live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Chad Christian coming at you with another exciting episode of Changing the Tech Scene. This is episode 11. Holy crap, we made it to 11. We didn't get shut down, we didn't get canceled. Nobody pulled us off the air. What's going on, you guys? Today I got with me is Adit Chhabria. How you doing, brother?
I'm great. How are you, Chad?
Hey, good, good, man. I also got a special guest, Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. How you doing, Eric?
All right, how's it going?
Good, man. Glad to have you on the show. Real quick shout out to our sponsors, Slick Wraps. Make sure you guys visit them at slickwraps.com. You can also use my link, sw.life/CoachCWC, and get a discount. Another sponsor we have today is Astro. As you notice that I've got the Astro A50s on. Thank you guys. Quick shout out to you, Astro, for sending me that. Also, NVIDIA. Make sure you guys check out NVIDIA's new app, GeForce Now. You can play any PC title games on through Steam on your Mac. So no boot camp, no Windows 10, no drivers, security patches, all of that good stuff. So thank you to our sponsors. Also, quick shout out to the Coach CWC Patreon family. We've got Adit. Thank you. And as always, my man Ron Lunsford, and of course, the producer of our show today is Brandon Reverend. You can find him at the brand or at the Rev Plays. I'm sorry. Um, Something on a serious note, though, before we get into our fun, is the Houston efforts. I'm sure everybody, of course, knows about that. Make sure that you guys, if you get a chance today, go over and check out. I'm going to leave a link down below for Red Cross. Hopefully, you should be seeing that on my screen now. So you can donate to them. I'll leave a link down in the description. So, you know, $1, $10, $5, whatever you got, man. Everything helps. So make sure you guys go over there and do that. As part of the show today, I'm actually going to donate $100 just on behalf of all of us. So thank you guys for being a part of the show, and thank you guys for helping out with the Red Cross. So without further ado, man, let's get into some news, shall we?
Woohoo!
Woo!
Woohoo!
Hey, and don't forget, stick around today. We're going to do a couple of giveaways as long as time is allowed, and hopefully, if we reach the 100 live viewers today, I'm going to give away one of these. This is the new Essential phone. So if you want to win this, make sure you guys start letting people know about it. So 100 live viewers today, we're going to give away an Essential phone. Who does that? What other show does that?
I don't know.
Nobody. All right, cool. So let's talk about, you know what, let's start with a Note 8, Eric, since you just came back from that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience, how it was, different things that happened over there. Let us know about it, man. You're the master at the Note 8 now. Go ahead.
Well, it was my first time going to the Samsung event. It was in New York, of course, and I sat through the whole event. I was excited about it because I am a Note fan. For people that watch my YouTube channel, y'all know that I'm really, really a great Note fan. So my experience was going to the keynote address was fantastic. I mean, the stage was awesome. And it did some, the presentation was pretty good. The hands-on experience was also good. I actually did a whole complete live stream while I was doing the hands-on. And I could tell you, to me, coming from a Note 5 and as my daily driver, because I use the Note 5, even though I reviewed 1,000 phones, coming from the Note 5 going to the Note 8 is definitely a different experience especially when it comes down to the display. The display is absolutely amazing. And you're getting all the top specs, 835, 6 gigs of RAM. You get 6.3-inch display, 18:9 aspect ratio. And one of the key components that stuck out for me was that the cameras was awesome. Oh man, I've seen some demos with the cameras. It was absolutely amazing. I really do like the cameras. And the fluidity of the device was pretty good also. And I tell you what, it just felt so good in the hand with the different colors and everything. It looks good. Unfortunately, in the United States, we're not getting all those nice, pretty colors. But put the device in my hand. It felt real good, and I believe that all the Note users is going to be very pleased to put their hands on the Note 8 because it is a phenomenal device. I mean, good cameras, good build quality, great screen, speed, all the top-notch specs you want, and I think it's going to be a phenomenal device. Now, people complain about the price a little bit, but you know, Samsung is doing some things, some marketing, some deals here that you don't have to spend the $1,000 price point for the device. So they got some things floating out there. All you have to do is do your research, and I think the Note 8 is going to be a good, promising device for 2017.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think right now there's a buy one get one free going on with T-Mobile.
T-Mobile.
The only exception is you have to add an additional line, but who cares, man? Add on that $10
Yeah.
line if you want. You know what I mean? You want $1,000 phone? Shoot, you resell it, do whatever you want. You know, I think that's a great value. You're right. Plus, I think you're going to get a choice of either the 256 gig micro SD card or the Samsung 360 VR camera to go with it, which is I think is like a $250 value. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a great package. I know a lot of people are crying about how much it cost at the $1,000 mark, but honestly, you guys, I think the days of the $600 phone is gone. I think the second that we started seeing Apple and everybody coming out with the larger storage capacities, I mean, Apple phone was over $1,000 if you got the 256 model. I think I paid, $1,050 for this phone.
Yeah.
So, as you get more and more things, it's more and more of a computer. So, what do you think about it, Ed? How do you feel about the Note 8?
Going back to Eric's points, I see that he didn't mention anything about the stylus, and I think that one of the most important things about the Note series is the stylus, and I think that's where they missed the trick, because this time around they just have the GIF writing feature and the live translation. While that might be useful, but it's not a must-have feature like the air commands or the hovering over for a preview. I think they really didn't pay enough attention to the stylus, which is what defines the Note series.
Yeah, I agree. It's you know what I think happened is because of the whole debacle, obviously with the Note 7 is I think they spent so much time just trying to make sure that the battery was up to par. Notice that the entire presentation was pretty dry, right? It was because we had already seen everything in the Note 7. And you're right, had they added even just a couple of little software things, which is unusual because Samsung, is the leader in putting 80 million different features on there. Some would say it's too much, but you're right, even a couple of things like, oh, if you click this with the pen, now it does that. Even 3 or 4 little things that they could have put the whole presentation around would have been a big deal, because as you saw on the floor, but it's like it's a Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus with a pen, which I completely disagree with. But you're right. I think it was missing some key selling features. Oh, don't get me wrong. I think it's an absolutely, and I'm going to be the first one in line, man. I love the Note series. I've had every single Note series. I've had the pre-Note 1 series from Europe. I love the phone. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a winner. I think Samsung did a great thing with it. Now, the cool thing for me is the fact that everyone was crying about the battery life. Well, there all these tests that we're seeing, it's lasting longer than the Galaxy S8 Plus. So, the fact that they're able to tune it a little bit, as far as the processor, software, things running in the background, you're getting longer battery life. So I think eventually everyone will be able to stop saying, oh, it's what about the battery, and honestly, when the LG V30 hype goes away, and I love that phone, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. You still got to remember there's two kings here, right? And it's going to be hard to dethrone them. It's Apple and Samsung. So when all the other guys have all these great features and everything else, and when LG V30 drops the phone price by like $600, it'll be like $99, free toaster, free TV, buy one, get four free on Sprint, and all this. It's going to be like, yeah, whatever, right? It's coming. It'll probably
Right.
be in the first week. The very first week, they'll sell more phones than they've ever sold in their lives. They'll quit marketing, and then they'll be like, you know what? We're not doing so well, boss. Start giving them away. Yeah, we're going to give away old Huawei One watches. I don't care. Whatever we got to do. Just give stuff away.
Well, you know, one of the things that I can tell you about the Note series, and I make
Yeah.
plenty videos about the Note series, going details about the pen, that the pen and software that's integrated within the device is phenomenal. Actually, I have a video coming out later on this evening, maybe tomorrow, about some of the more pen software as far as the business realm. Now, I've made a lot of videos about the Note series and catered towards business. But I'm going into a real deep in-depth video about the pen and pen software as far as business-wise with DeX and kind of integration and stuff with the Note 5 compared to the Note 8. So.
Yeah,
But I agree with you on the LG though.
Yeah, right. I'll be interested in messing with the DeX system. I never bought it because I've had phones before that the Microsoft phones that actually allow me to use them as a computer, and
Oh, the continuum thing.
I never felt they were powerful enough. But I think now with the processors, the RAM, the interface, the way Samsung did it, I think DeX is actually a viable option for people on the go that don't want to either A, spend the money on that laptop, or B, all they do is word processing, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint, Skype. I mean, it's perfect all in one situation. And the other thing that Samsung always fails to mention, which, and I know people like, oh, they've had seen commercials. Yeah, I've seen like maybe one in 10 years. Samsung Pay. Come on,
Yeah,
Samsung. Stop
it's
messing. It's the greatest
woo,
thing
it's
ever.
phenomenal,
You know what?
phenomenal.
I go in anywhere. It could be, a 1954 7-Eleven and be like, give me a Slurpee now. They're like, I'm sorry, sir. We don't take that. All we got is the old credit card swipers. I'm like, I don't care. This will do it.
Yeah,
I can't go anywhere. I can't use Android. I can't use Apple Pay. They all laugh at me. I can go at post office. They're like, I'm sorry, sir. You can't use that. Dink. They're like,
yeah.
what'd you just do? I'm like, that's right. Come on, Samsung, start touting that. It's ridiculous. If you want to sell some Samsung phones with Tizen, get it out there, market it.
Yeah, the kings of marketing. I don't know what's wrong with
Give
them.
me a break, man. It's great. Am I right? I have never heard anyone who's had a Samsung device, Thunder E at board of work. He's like, dude, you need to come back. You need to check it out. I'm like, I don't know, man. Tizen kind of sucks because I've had the originals. I had all the original Samsung phones with the cameras and everything built in. I'm like, I didn't like Tizen. And the fact that none of the apps worked, the messaging was horrible. You had to use, S voice. It's not like that anymore. It's actually a good system. So, for a quick plug, Samsung Gear S3 Frontier, my favorite, I don't want to say Android Wear, but my favorite Android watch to use. So, quick plug for that. And it will work with any Android phone. Excellent device. So let's get into the LG V30, and then we're going to do a giveaway. We've got 28 people in here now. Let's see if we can get to that 100 and give away the Grand Daddy. Woo! You guys want one of these. Trust me. This is a beautiful phone. And I will have a review. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I'll leave a link down below, but I have already done an unboxing for this, which is funny. Here's a quick behind the scenes. If you watched that video, I did it upside down when I unboxed it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. During editing, I'm like, well, I can't repair that. I can't make my hands go upside down. Oh, somebody commented like, hey, boss, your stuff's upside down. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's horrible. So anyways, let's start with you, Adit. What do you think of the LG V30, man? Go.
Yeah, I think it's the most well-rounded LG phone out. The main thing is they've got the hi-fi DAC on all the variants this time around. And the cameras, the wide-angle lens is just unbelievable. I don't know why other manufacturers who are using the dual lens system aren't going with the wide-angle lens, because I think that's going to be a lot more useful than the portrait mode that's currently present on the iPhones and the Note 8s.
Yeah, one of my favorite features, you're right, is the fact that, you can change the what do they call it? Cinelog, kind of like a Vlog for your
Yeah.
actual DSLR
Yeah.
systems, add filters, but they look better than, the cheesy little filters that you'd normally get. I love that zoom control, which you guys should be able to see on your screen. Now, the fact that even if it's not the primary object on your screen, you can just tell it to quickly zoom in onto the object. I think that's really cool. This is going to be an extremely fun phone to play with, especially for us content creators, right? I remember the old Sony Xperia phones, where I believe were the first one that looked like Snapchat has now. You know, where you could add things and dinosaurs running across the screen. I think this is the next evolution, an actual DSLR style camera setup instead of quirky, to me, goofy, non-necessary essentials.
Yeah, and
I think
manual
it's a winner.
controls for the video is just boss. It's just boss.
Oh yeah, absolutely love it. How about the fact that they threw in a quad DAC when everyone else is going away from
Yeah,
my or 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks?
Yeah.
yeah,
They're being courageous.
You know, one of the things that LG have done, if you look at the LG's history, going back to the LGT4 to the LGT5, they didn't do so well. You know, with all the debacle with the LGT4, and then with the this what they try to do with the LGT5 that didn't go so well. So when they went back to the drawing board and they came out with the LGT6, which is a phenomenal device.
Mhm.
You know, the build quality was great. The cameras are phenomenal, and everything about the G6 screams quality. Unfortunately, I think what happened with LG is the history. Now we get the V30. I love the V30. The V30 is going to be a well-rounded device. It's going to be phenomenal. But here's the problem. The LG V30 doesn't go on sale until next month.
Yeah.
By then, you got everybody that Samsung will have notes in people's hands. By then,
Right.
you got Apple Keynote address on the 12th. You
Oh
got the
goodness.
Pixel. I mean, you got all other devices that's probably going to be in people's hands before the LG V30. That's going to be the biggest problem. I think it's all the way wrong across the board. I think it's poor planning, poor marketing. The device is not coming out fast enough. And by the time the V30 hit the stores, it's like, okay, so why should we get the V30? You know, especially the marketing strategy that Samsung is doing right now, with discounting the Galaxy S8, you know, $500, right?
Oh yeah,
The
goodness.
Galaxy
How do you
S8
compete with
Plus.
that? Hmm.
Right, the Galaxy S8 Plus, $570, and now you want to sell the V30 at about mid $700. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a very hard thing to sell
Yeah, it's true.
mid October.
Yeah, you're right. If they don't hit that exact premium price tag, you know, the mid range, they're already out of business. If I
Yeah,
was them, even if it's a loss leader or whatever to get business back, man, if they made $20 a unit and sold millions and millions of units, I think they'd be better off. But I think if they're around the 600, I don't even know if I go higher than that, honestly. 649, I think would be too much. I think if they sell this premium phone at a mid-range price, they will then be able to compete with, you're right, an iPhone 8, Google Pixel XL 2. You're right, if they price this in the same category, again, it's going to be, do I want an LG phone? Even with everything that if they just don't have the hype. Or do I want to go out and get this premium iPhone 8?
yeah,
Or
and
it's just, I mean, you're right. The second this Note 8 gets in hands, Google Pixel XL not as much, but more hype, and the iPhone 8. I mean, those are the kings. As soon as the kings walk in the room, man, LG is going to be giving away that flat screen 46-inch OLED display for you guys.
yeah,
Buy one,
and
get a TV.
speaking about the display, reports are coming out that the display isn't very bright. And when a consumer walks into the store and they see the LG V30 and the Note 8 side by side, the first thing they're going to see is the display and see that there's a big difference in brightness, and that's going to be a major setback for LG.
Yeah, that could be a huge downfall. Listen, man, we're already 20 past the hour. I got to give some stuff away. I got to do it. So, Adit, you want to be the first one to give something away? And time, I can see, is going to really be stretching today. It's great having you on the show, Eric, man. You're very knowledgeable. We're definitely going to have to get you back, man. I like it. Um, Listen, let's give something away. Let's give away Slick Wraps. Make sure you guys go over, check out slickwraps.com. Edit if you want to do a trivia question. How do you
Yeah,
want to give something away, man? You go ahead.
yeah. Trivia
Take it away.
question. So, what's the display technology that's used on the LG V30? Since we're talking
Oh,
about the V30.
oh, I got that. I got that, coach. I got that. Come in, coach. Come on, man. First one to answer is going to win a Slick Wraps for your phone. I'm gonna leave right now.
Yeah,
Uh-oh,
Shivam Singh has got the answer in.
boom! There it
There it
is.
is.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let me show you guys on my screen right now. Good job. Who is the winner?
Shivam Singh.
Shivam. Good job,
Yeah.
Shivam. If you guys get a chance, man, seriously, check out Slick Wraps. It should be on your screen right now. They do some really cool stuff. Some of the other things, I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but phones, tablets, computers, gaming, wearables, and other cool stuff. So you can get skins for other devices. It's not just for your phone. So make sure you guys check those out. They're doing a great job over there. They get more and more product in every day. Shout out to them. They just sent me some stuff for Note 8. I don't know why you guys sent me purple, man. My channel's blue, but I'll take it. Maybe some of you guys will dig it. I don't know. They sent me a bunch of samples for the Note 8 stuff, so very cool. Thank you guys. Thank you Slick Wraps for that. Thank you Edit for that, and good job on the giveaway. Make sure you reach me over at CoachCWC on Twitter. Just DM me, and we'll talk about how to get that product to you right away. Let's talk briefly about Lenovo's Windows mixed reality headset that they're releasing. So I'll start this one off just because I've been doing VR for so long. I've got the Oculus. Well, I had the Oculus Rift, which then I swapped out with the HTC Vive, and I use this
Yay.
faithfully. This is a beautiful system. You can see it's got the new headgear right here for your audio sound, which is fantastic. So I absolutely love it. I had the Microsoft HoloLens when that was a thing. I had Google Glass when that was a thing. So I love all things VR. I think to me, more VR, the better. It gets more content in people's hands. I loved it when the PSVR came out. I think that was great. It helps. I loved it that phones, Google and everybody else, LG is jumping into it. The only thing that I don't know with this device, I love the price tag. I love the fact that Oculus is knocking everybody's price down. Thank you, Oculus. Oh my gosh. I want to send my son one of these, but I'm like $800 plus $200 to ship it overseas. It's like, yeah, but now because Oculus Rift lowered their price, now HTC Vive lowered their price to I believe it's $499, so they knocked 300 off.
599.
Is it $599? So
Yeah.
they knocked some money off. So this is interesting. So it comes in at $349, which is funny because it doesn't include the handsets, which I don't know why you wouldn't why do you not include the controls? What are you gonna do without the controller?
What you gonna do with it without the control, right?
That's so stupid. But they're just trying to keep that price point lower. So I like the price. Now, the good and bad of this unit, there's no tracking system. I don't know if you guys can see it in frame or not. But right
Okay, I see.
here, this is actually a tracking system. There's one here and one on the other side of the room. I at my other house I had them mounted on the walls, but in here because my studio keeps changing like every day, there's no tracking system with this new Lenovo system. So I'm not sure. I almost feel like this is going to be. It's not even PSVR. PSVR has tracking. It knows the depth between your system. I think this is almost going to be like a phone VR again.
Yeah.
Portability would be nice, but honestly, you guys, the second you get into room scale and I'm able to shoot my guns all around this room and actually walk around with the unit and do all these different things, that to me is VR. I don't know if
Right.
sitting in my chair with an Xbox controller, you know, you know what I'm saying? Just doing this is, it's not, it's like
Yeah.
Game Boy's version of VR. How do you guys feel about it? Eric, I'll let you go first.
You know what? I tell you, a lot of people that has like the Galaxy phones that get the free VR, and I actually showed it to my family like one
Yeah.
Halloween, and they get blown away with VR. I love VR and AR, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a totally different experience when you're looking at like maybe a Samsung VR versus Oculus. I mean, it's a different experience, and I think if they was to go mobile with that, I think the whole experience gonna be different. So yeah, I think that's definitely something to think about, because again, with the portability of like the headset with VR. I mean, with Samsung, you destroyed the phone in there and stuff like that. But when you talk about Oculus, it's to me, it's a totally different experience,
Right.
something like that, So yeah.
Yeah, and what are your guys' thoughts about the VR versus AR? For me personally, I think VR is much more comprehensive, and I enjoy VR more than I would AR.
Yeah, I
I don't
think.
know. I tell you what.
Yeah, go ahead, Eric.
Oh yeah, I made a lot of videos about AR. Believe it or not, I did I bought the Lenovo Fab 2 Pro, which was the first AR device, and I made maybe a dozen videos about that. I mean, I'm outside in the backyard playing AR games. I mean, it thing is phenomenal. It's a big old phone, and I think AR is very interesting. And to me, in my opinion, I kind of lean towards AR a little bit because it's amazing some of the stuff that I've done on AR. Playing games and running up and down the backyard. This kind of, and I think it's great for the kids actually. It's amazing. I think I don't know what happened to Project Tango. I mean, I know they're trying to bring it back, but man, it's like it is. All of a sudden, when Apple talked about AR, then here we got AR coming back to Android. But man, Project Tango, besides the Lenovo Fab 2 Pro and the Asus Zenfone AR, I mean, those are the only two devices that has all the cameras and sensors with AR. So I'm all in on AR.
Yeah, here's the way that I feel about it. I think AR is the future. I think VR is a limited space, more of a niche type product. The fact that you can't be mobile with it, I think it's a better system. So don't get me wrong. I love if they took away my HTC Vive and said you're getting a HoloLens type system, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. Now, that doesn't mean in the future it doesn't get better with graphics and implementation and the way that things are, because I'm telling you, some of the things that I was able to do on my HoloLens blows everything away. The fact that it actually uses my room and, robots would be coming out of the different areas and the walls in my house that I'm shooting at, really neat, fully immersive things. What I like about AR is the fact that you can still interact with your environment. So you're still a part of your environment while you're doing these things. I'm actually going to leave you guys in the comments right now. Don't leave now. When the show is over, make sure you guys check out that link. That is actually me with the HoloLens in my house. I got it set up as a virtual office. I think as technology gets better, these devices get smaller. Think about HoloLens if they were able to put that into a Google Glass format. Holy crap. That would be amazing. So the smaller this technology gets, the more that it's less intrusive, the better it's going to be. I think AR is the future. I think when Apple announces it September 12th, it's going to be a big deal. Of course, coming from Apple, it's going to revolutionize, the entire market that we've already had it, but
You're the first.
yeah, they will be the first. But I tell you what, they'll be the first to spend $1 billion, make sure it works perfectly, no flaws, no nothing. So when Apple jumps into the game, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6 years later and everybody else, man, it's perfect. They do it right. We can't argue with that as tech guys.
Right.
They're like, we'll take that technology, let it feel itself out if it's even there, and then bam, here's the perfect setup for it.
Well, it's definitely putting Android on its P's and Q's, because after WWDC, after they announced AR on the iPhone, I mean, just all of a sudden Android like, wait, whoa, well, we got the big, Project Tango out of the grave, and see, they call
we
it
should
something
pull
else.
that back. Do something with that.
We got to do
That's
something
a
with
fact.
AR. I mean, we can't let Apple. I mean, we've been having. I mean, Project Tango been years in the making, and all of a sudden, Apple, the WWDC came out, and Apple talked about AR, and all of a sudden, Android like, wait a minute, we've been having Project Tango. It just kind of faded away, but now Apple is doing it, and now hey, let's do something about it.
So, speaking of Apple, on September 12th, they're going to do the reveal at their new Steve Jobs Theater, which obviously is invitation only, but holy crap, that theater looks amazing. So look for that soon. Guesstimate is September 12th will be the reveal. There's been talk of September 22nd actually being the official release of the phone, so no one knows. Trust me, it's completely up in the air as far as that goes. Um, Last but not least, let's talk about the Razer laptop. Now, Razer Blade Pro, if you guys are not familiar with it, it was the first thinnest, lightest gaming 17-inch laptop that really it was overpriced. Well, I'm sorry, let me take that back. It was so highly priced that people, ordinary people, could not get that in their hands. I believe it started at $4,000, which is, I mean, yeah, that's expensive for anyone, right? It did have a 1080 gaming NVIDIA GTX system in it with, I believe, 8 gigs of DDR5 RAM, VRAM. But the problem is it was so expensive. It also was the first system to come out with mechanical keys on the keyboard, which got some mixed reviews, but I love the idea that they tried it. It was the first laptop to put the trackpad on the right, and now we've seen it with other laptops, and I'll show you guys one that I'm doing a review video on right now. But the strange thing with this system, the most powerful, thinnest, lightest, coolest, 4K touch display, beautiful, all resolution, all knowing, they put it in a 1080p non G-Sync display, 1060 graphics card, took away the mechanical keys and
Yeah.
said, "Here you go for 2,300 bucks." Like,
Come on.
come on, man! You just took the world's greatest laptop and just threw it in there with your Razer Blade Stealth. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
wah wah.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
terrible. I don't understand that. Now, what I would have liked to have seen this, I don't know, you guys have probably not seen this. I've only seen 4 videos on YouTube for it. Mine is out there now. If you guys want to check it out, I did an unboxing and I'm doing a review video now. This is the Asus Zephyrus GX501, 15.6 inch, 120 hertz G-Sync panel. It
Woo.
is a TN, but all viewing angles are perfect on it. Very minimal light bleed, obviously, because it's TN, not IPS. But the nice thing is, they also did the same thing. They put the trackpad on the side. The trackpad
Uh-huh.
also doubles as a numeric key. If I hit it, it's a full numeric keyboard. But this is now the world's thinnest, lightest, most powerful gaming laptop. This has a 1080 GeForce Max-Q GTX with 8 gigs of VRAM card in it. This right here, ladies and
Nice.
gentlemen, is the nicest laptop that I've ever used, and it's $26.99. And to me, that is a fair price for a perfect system. Now, shout out to Dave 2D. He actually called this the perfect laptop. If you guys want to check his out, it's just a phenomenal system. And again, make sure you check out my channel because I am doing a full review on this. But holy crap, to me, this is what Razer Blade Pro, the leaders in gaming, should have done, is said, you know what, we're going to throw in a 1080 Max Q. It keeps the thermal throttling 100% away. It keeps the system cooler, and they would have had a home run. Lower the price tag even a little bit. Let's get it around the $3,000 mark. They would have sold that thing all
Yeah.
day. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
they were trying to achieve like a hybrid between the 14-inch model and the 17.3-inch model. But what they did was they just eliminated the 1080, which they really needed on the this current laptop.
Yeah, I mean, the 1080 is got to be the way to go. I mean, why even go down to the 1060,
Yeah,
and it'd be
in a beast of a gaming system? That's terrible. You realize 1060 barely scrapes the surface of VR, right? Some of the
right.
newest VR content you can't even run it on that. So to me, it already is a no win. Now you
Yeah.
want to put that in a lower mid tier system, fine. That's fine. Or with Max Q, and now the cool thing with Max Q is you can get a 1070, and I'm sure there'll be a 1060, but I know there's a 1070 Max Q that will run. For those of you that don't know what Max-Q technology is, what they do is they underclock the processor of that GPU and the RAM just slightly, and they allow for better cooling and performance. And it's not just lower frequency of those. They also help with the cooling, so it has a completely different cooling spec by NVIDIA, so they can't just throw in anything that they want. So basically, a 1080 Max-Q GPU runs in between a 1070 and a 1080 on a standard 1080 style laptop. So to me, it would be a 1075 because I benched it against my Alienware R17R4 that has a 1070. It's a little bit faster than that, but there's zero thermal throttling, and it never gets hot. I use my heat gun. It never gets over like 46 degrees Celsius. It's just crazy. And here's what's just to plug this again real quick. Let me see if I can show you guys on camera. When you open this laptop, the back end of the unit opens up. Do you see the bottom opening?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
The only laptop that's ever done that before. So this bottom actually opens up completely, and it has an LED light, a red LED light. And this is 5 pounds, by the way, those that are asking in the comments right now. So yeah, this whole bottom unit opens up to allow even more cooling. It's the only laptop in the world that does that, and I'm sure we're going to see more and more of that.
Pretty neat idea.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's neat, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. I think Razer Blade Pro had it right. It was the absolute best system. I mean, I even wanted to get it, and I'm like, you know what? Because here's the thing: is I buy all my tech. None of this stuff is given to me. I've gotten one HTC phone since I've been doing this, and I've spent $150,000 of my own money to bring you guys devices. So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna spend $4,400 or so with tax to make 4 videos to get a couple thousand views. And I'm not going to be able to resell it to even recoup any of the money. So economically, that's why I never had it. Otherwise, you guys know, because I carry every piece of equipment that is the latest, greatest, most expensive, badass. But that one, nah, sorry, not doing it.
Can't
I would have
justify
lost my butt off on that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can't justify, the purchase because of what they took out of the and they lowered a lot of stuff. I mean, it's just nah.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm definitely not even gonna I'm not even gonna purchase the 1060 one. To me, that would just make me angry. Somebody just asked, does that laptop have an optical DVD drive? No, it doesn't. Actually, all the laptops as of now don't ever come with it. I can guarantee you, if you get a laptop that has a DVD or a CD drive, send it back.
Yeah.
Because you just bought, a sub $600 laptop that probably won't last you more than a year or two, honestly. So,
Yeah.
not that it's bad, but guys, I haven't used a CD drive in, oh my
Years.
God, yeah,
I know I haven't used it in
7 years.
years.
Everything's on the web. You can download it. If you guys are looking for inexpensive laptops, which I don't review, and the only reason that is because the market is so oversaturated with everyone can go buy a cheap, laptop. So it's hard for me to compete with them. As the channel grows, I promise you guys, I will do more and more of a broader scope. But just to get penetration in the market, I have to set myself apart. That's why I buy these super high-end toys. So later on, if you guys are looking for that, I will have that on the channel. I've got to go. My wife has texted me like 15 times. Come on, let's go get some lunch. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys for watching. Thanks so much, Eric, for being on the show, man. We're definitely going to get you on here again. It was fantastic. Loved having you here. Adit, as always, brother. Love you, man. You guys, Eric, do you have anything coming up on your show you'd like to mention on here? Get a quick plug, shout out.
Yeah, I got a video coming out as far as I think today or tomorrow about the Galaxy Note 8. Why I think the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy Note 8 can bridge the gap into the Galaxy Note 8 as being a business device. So I'm working on that video. I've been working on that video for about 2 days. So try to have that video out today. But check me out at Easy Computer Solutions. EasyComputerSolutions.com. You can also check me out all over the web. I'm everywhere in between. It's EasyComputerSolutions.com. And that's it.
Awesome, man. Thanks again, Eric. It was great having you on the show. Adit, what about you, brother? You got anything going on? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm actually playing with the Pixel 2, so I'm kidding.
Oh, you really? Oh, I was going to say, you son of a beep, 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 beep. You were going to get one of these. Oh, you sucker. That's awesome, man. Oh, hey, look at that. Don't Hate the Geek just donated $10 to the show. That's the first time I've ever seen that before. It actually
Really?
popped up, yeah, in this big, giant yellow. I'm going to put that out on Twitter when I get back from lunch. That's fantastic. Thanks a lot, Don't Hate the Geek. I appreciate it, man. And thank you guys again for watching. Slick Wraps, appreciate you guys always being a fantastic sponsor for us. NVIDIA, I appreciate you guys and the work that you're allowing me to do for you. And also Astro, you know what's up. Thanks a lot, you guys. We'll see you next week. Same coach time, same coach channel. Peace.
Bye.